This is my very first story, and the summary is Mulder is lost in whirlpool of events, but where exactly is he? So this is the one David Duchovny himself approved of. Here's Lost Within. I hope you enjoy it.
I am lost within, confused and alone, cannot escape and find my true home. Images taunt me, nowhere to hide, so much torment deep down inside. Yet beneath the pain your warmth shines bright, as you take my hand, leading me to the light. Your heart is mine own, two souls are entwined, our paths have been chosen for the sake of mankind.
Please leave me. Let me go. Leave me the fuck alone. No more. No more. He stirred but found he could not move. A swirling mist began to close in on him. He felt himself falling deeper into the inky blackness. Time seemed to stand still and yet rush by at an alarming rate. None of it made any sense, yet at the same time filled him with clarity. Images formed, then dispersed like grains of sand suddenly caught up in a howling maelstrom. Was this what people meant when they stated that their whole life passed before them, before death claimed their souls? So was he dying, or being reborn? Fear grasped at his very being, almost choking him. Why was this happening? Where exactly was he? And the biggest question of all that loomed in his mind was how could he escape? And if so, where to? Unless this was all within his own mind. In that case, how could you break free from your own thoughts? This was hell personified. "Oh, get a fucking grip, Mulder," he heard himself utter, his words sounding frail like shattered glass. Best to try and rationalise, not panic and lose myself even deeper inside this abyss. He felt a rush of air fill his lungs as he took a deep breath. Then he exhaled very slowly. "Okay, Mr. Brilliant Profiler, you're so great at sketching out other folks' characterisations. Let's see if you can work out your own psyche." Surely this had to be his own subconscious fighting for some explanations. To understand what? He took another gulp of air. Easy, try to stay calm. A sudden flash of intensely bright light took him by complete surprise. What the... It seemed to penetrate his very soul, and the fear began trying to rear its ugly head once more. For a few moments he was blinded. Then as his vision slowly returned, he thought he saw shadows forming in the eerie illumination. They began to shape themselves into people. Human beings? No. Something else, something tall, spindly and grey, with almond eyes reflecting the inky blackness that still surrounded him. Although now he was caught up in this sphere of piercing light. What do you want? Wasn't this his ultimate question for these creatures from another dimension of space and time? He received no answer. The aliens didn't even seem to be acknowledging his existence, that is, if he was even alive. So was this his own personal hell he'd been sent to? Sharing this realm with EBEs certainly would be the worst thing he'd ever want to experience for all eternity. Given a choice, he would much rather have preferred an endless vacation in heaven on a fluffy white cloud with Scully by his side, safe, warm and totally loved. But obviously he hadn't had the luxury of choice. He felt hot tears sting his eyes and begin to slowly trickle down his cheeks. Scully. Where was she? Why wasn't she here with him? Another thought invaded his mind. Maybe she deserved better than this. Perhaps she was in that other world with the fluffy white clouds playing a melancholy tune on a harp because she missed him. There you go again, he cursed himself, making out you so important in her life. You could be such a conceited bastard at times. Obviously whoever is in charge of this weird scenario certainly doesn't think you are the be-all and end-all of her universe, or you'd have her beside you right now. Without warning, a cold chill ran down his spine, and all thoughts of Dennis Scully disappeared into the ether. He felt a light touch on his shoulder, and a soft voice whispered into his ear, the name he'd been christened with. "Fox? Please let me see," he begged. "I need to know who this is." However, his mind already knew. He concentrated hard on trying to turn around, but to no avail. "Samantha!" he called into the light, or the darkness, whichever would listen to him. Starting to feel frustrated with this whole insane experience, he yelled, "God, please! Whatever this is, just let me see her again!" Again? Oh yes, now he remembered. He'd witnessed her playing with other children in an ethereal setting. What had they been called? Walk-ins. Lost souls transported in starlight. His sister was amongst them now, after they'd saved her soul from suffering and unspeakable horror in her lifetime. So what was she doing here? Unless... There was that feeling of dread once more. Perhaps he was following the same fate. But this certainly didn't feel like salvation, more like he was being condemned. Was this his own personal purgatory, a means of cleansing or damning his soul for all of eternity? Slowly the light receded along with the alien figures. What now? He blinked several times, and then she was just standing there. The same vision he'd seen when she ran towards him and flung her arms around him. 14 years old, long ebony hair flowing all around her shoulders, and that same smile on her lips. "Fox, it's you!" Now it was complete confusion that controlled his mind. "Sam, why? What are you doing here in this..." Okay, no way he could describe it exactly. "Place." He shuddered and felt the tears begin to well up once more. "Are you really here? And where exactly is the here? Can you tell me, Sam?" His sister began to offer soothing and comforting words. "Shh, it's okay now. I'm here, Fox. You found me." Mulder clung to her small frame, hardly daring to believe she'd returned to him. From where? That didn't matter right at this moment in time. Wherever they were now, who cares? Sam was here, back in her brother's strong embrace. He would never let go of her ever again. Allowing a smile to invade his lips, he gently stroked her hair. Whatever the circumstances that had led him to this unreal world, he had found his sister. His goal was now complete. What he desperately wanted all his life was now a reality. Sam was safe. "Fox," her brown eyes looked into his own, a hint of sadness clearly visible. "What?" he asked quietly, still holding on to her tightly. "Did we ever finish that stupid game?" He looked puzzled. "Game? With those coloured pieces? I can't remember what it was called." "I don't..." he hesitated. "No, we never finished it." "Why not?" Her question was asked with such innocence. An avalanche of memories flooded back, almost drowning him in a shroud of darkness. Because you were taken away from me, Sam. The light, did that come for me? He was beginning to choke on the tears that were now threatening to flow. "Yes, they snatched you from your home, your family." Now his words were pouring out. "I tried so hard to find you. I discovered these abandoned case files on the paranormal and pursued them with a vengeance, praying they'd eventually lead me to you. I got myself so entranced in finding you, nothing else mattered to me, not even my own life sometimes. Thank God I had Scully with me while I was working on those X-Files." She interrupted him. "Fox, what are X-Files?" He was just about to give her a reply which probably would have been an unintentional, rambling description of his work within the FBI, when suddenly he felt a powerful surge of energy hit him with such force he thought he'd lose his balance. Then he heard a young girl scream, loud and terrified. "Please, God, not again! Not again! Not again!" echoed in his mind. A painful realization ripped through him. His arms were empty. She was no longer in his protective embrace. "No!" he cried out. "Don't do this to me! Please don't take her away from me again!" he begged. The tears began to flow heavily. "God, have you no fucking mercy?"